Hello, Methodology 2 team. I hope you were able to have a chance to look at my welcome video. And as I promised, this is another video through which I'd like to share with you a little bit of the flow of the course. I don't assume that everyone thinks the way that I do, and so just putting it into the Moodle page doesn't seem very efficient. So I made a short video. This, as you can see, is our Methodologies 2 landing page, and I might be moving my picture around here a little bit so that we can see things better. Here's the welcome page. This gives you a little bit of a flow of what we are aiming for in the course. And then I've given you some goals. These are my goals for us as a team in designing the course. These are the things I'd like us to be able to accomplish by the end. Before we look at the Moodle page of the course any further, you'll want to click on the LIN-566 syllabus tab later, but I'll show it to you here. The syllabus here is pretty much standardized. It's got my contact information. Please feel free to use that number if there's a reason why we need to have a phone conversation. But please, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and email me first and set up a good time so that we're not calling each other at uncomfortable times like dinner or something like that. In here, I've laid out the required textbooks. You should have received those already as a part of your enrollment. But what I've done with each of the individual assignments is I've given you a layout here, an explanation, some general percentages, and when they're due. What I've also done, which I'll show you in a minute, is I have put these descriptions into Moodle for you. That way you don't have to look in 3 different places to find your information. Everything that's in here is also in Moodle. But some people like to download this and print it out. What I've also done for the big picture for you is I have in here Unit 1, and then what I'm going to be doing for each course is I'm going to have the dates listed in here. What are the dates for Unit 1? What are the dates for Unit 2? And then since we have certain things due on day 4 and day 7, you will see in your syllabus when you click on it, it will say day 4 and have the date, and day 7 and have the date. And those dates will also correspond with the due dates that you see in Moodle. Now, for this particular course, we have a weekly live meeting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in here what the date is. So once we get together online and decide which dates and which times really work the best for us to be able to join one another, I'm going to put those dates in here. So one class that I've had before, we get together on Saturday mornings from 8 until 9. And so I'll put those dates in here. That is just the general flow of the syllabus. To look back at the course, we're going to go over here. And you'll be able to see how I've got everything laid out. It's a general similar format all the way through. So if we look at Unit 1, for instance, Unit 1 starts on 9/5. And that's when it's due, my mistake. These are the things we'll be able to reach by the end of the unit. These are the week's activities. And then we've got the readings in here. This one here is a video. It's called Materials and Assessment. These are embedded, so you can watch them right within the page. You don't have to go out to an external source. And then for each week, so that we can get to know one another a little bit through our work, there's going to be a discussion forum. And sometimes the discussion forums are really just a place for you to do some typing. Others I've created where I will show you what I'd like to do, and I might do some reading, and I might leave an audio recording, or I might leave for you a screencast where I talk for 2 or 3 minutes about my response to the reading, and then I'll invite you to do the same. And the purpose of that is so that through the work, we can be seeing each other's faces, we can be hearing each other's voices, so that we're not just nebulous, amorphous things, minds, blobs behind some text, but we know that we're real people and there's something valuable in that. And then each week there's going to be an assignment and a submission date. So this one, for instance, is due September 5 at 11:59. And my goal in designing the class this way with weekly discussion forums that are a little bit different each time, and the dates and the way that I've built the assignments is that this particular course is intended to be a workshop so that we're learning new information, we're reading, and then we're thinking about what we've read on our own, and we're putting it out there, reporting it. but then we're also listening to how other people are processing the information. And then finally, after that, we are creating things. So for instance, Unit 1, there's a textbook evaluation. As teachers of ESL, you're going to want to be able to evaluate materials to look at what's good, what's bad. And so that's what this unit is about, really. Unit 2, if we look down at the big assignment, it's writing our educational mission statement. What is your mission in teaching? Really, what is it that God has you about there? That's really valuable to think about. And then also we'll have a syllabus assignment. You will be creating a syllabus for the ESL course for which you will have analyzed the materials. Then, after that, the next unit, we're going to be looking, we're going to be looking at our institution and thinking about what role does my institution play in the way that I see teaching. And then we're going to be starting to build cultural lesson plans to go with that syllabus, to go with those materials. Unit 4 is going to be looking at our lesson plans, but you're going to be submitting them, and then you will be looking at the lesson plans of one of your classmates, more of that community building, but also moving into this collegial space. We'll be discussing cultural pluralism in the classroom and the usefulness and the importance of that. And then Unit 5, we're going to be taking those lesson plans, those unit plans, etc., and we're going to be creating assessment for them. And so as you can see, what we're doing here through team building activities and so on is we're actually building an ESL course within this class. So Unit 6 then is what we're doing is we're taking the assessment that we've created on our own, we're building it into a team, we're building it into those final cultural lesson plans. And then for Unit 7, well, we've got an article summary and reaction paper. So now after we've done all of that workshopping of our learning, we're now going to go out into the world and we're going to look at what is an area of assessment, what is an area of teaching ESL that really grabs us. We're going to find a scholarly article on each of them, and we're going to come and summarize them and have a response to them. And then at the end, just to wrap everything up with a bow, we're going to have a course learning statement. And that is a short page to 2 where you go back and reflect on this very fast 7 weeks of learning. What was most valuable? What brought that value to you? So hopefully by looking at all of those things together, we've got a sense of this class and the flow and the expectations of it. The whole flow it's intended to be clean. It's intended to be built and infused with community. And then it's also intended to give you an opportunity to take what you're learning and actually use it. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I am going to